Good day. So I will be teaching a grade 4 PSW class on the term 2 topic of development of self, talking about bullying, how to address bullying and being able to differentiate between the different forms of bullying. In my introduction, I'll introduce the topic to the learners using a PowerPoint presentation which includes videos on the different types of bullying. During the PowerPoint presentation, I will pause and ask them what form of bullying do they think this is and give them chance to respond. This remains an active learning space and allows learners to then talk about the visuals they have received. Then in the development phase, we will be moving to a quiz. We will be using Kahoot. It will not take more than 10 to 15 minutes. In this quiz, it will be about the videos they've just watched after we work through the PowerPoint. This activity allows me to assess if they have processed the information we learned during the video activity, to see if they actually actively receive the information and now can use their own thinking to decipher between the different types of bullying. If there is not enough resources available, I will still present the activity, the quiz on the projector and give them opportunity to just write down the letter A, B, C or D depending on what the questions are asking. Afterwards, we will do a short reflection. After the development activity, we will be moving to the consolidation activity. In this activity, I will divide learners into smaller groups and then allow them to use the app Paint on their devices together to create the anti-bullying poster. They can be as creative as they want. This will show their understanding, their different perspectives, how they perceive bullying and how to address it. It will be a stop bullying campaign. I will now be looking at how we incorporated the SAMR model. Firstly, looking at substitution. When we're using the PowerPoint in the videos, we are substituting just the reading from a textbook. They will now have the ability to become active learners by watching these videos, seeing it, and this will also help with memory. It will be showing real life scenarios where learners will actually see how bullying is presented, obviously appropriately. And then looking at augmentation, which is the next step of the SAMR model. It makes the learning process much faster and it keeps learners active and excited to learn. So it takes away the time from a long lesson about reading about the topic. How is modification applied? Well, obviously, using the painting app removes the long process of drawing, coloring in, but there's different tools and resources on the app for them to be as creative as they want and share each other's perspectives and ideas and of how they received it. The painting activity will show how the different groups were able to combine the ideas. Lastly, we look at redefinition, which is the last step in the SAMR model. The redefinition is that learners are now moving from receivers of information to producers of information. They are now given the opportunity not only to test themselves and their progress, but to now use their own creative ideas and thoughts to implement and apply. Learners also now have used all different digital tools, visuals, being able to draw online. Learners watching the videos, doing the quizzes online, and then being given the opportunity to be creative and create something enhances their memory. Learners gain a better understanding because we are using different learning styles, different learning techniques. Visual learners, kinetic learners, auditory learners are all being included in the learning process. They are given the opportunity to receive information in different ways. There's different forms of reflection that we will be doing throughout the lesson activities. So in the first, watching the videos, I'm going to pause it, give learners time to ask and answer questions. I will be asking them questions to answer for me, just to test if they are actively listening and watching the videos. Then in the quiz section, after learners have given the opportunity to do the quiz, we will then talk about the answers, see where learners are still lacking information or struggling to process information. In the last activity, which is the Paint Anti-Bullying Poster activity, they will now be able to use all the information and actively process and produce all of the things they have learned in their own creative way. After doing the poster activity, we will have a reflection time, a group reflection, where learners will show and share their posters with one another, showing different perspectives and how they have received it, and let them see that there are different ways to perceive addressing bullying. So overall, they will have the opportunity to remember, to understand, to apply, to analyze, evaluate, and create in this space, all part of Bloom's taxonomy.